Imagine that you can't sleep at all. You feel empty and completely bored. The only thing you can really do is just walk in the endless streets of a night-lit city. While walking, you feel a bit thirsty, so you slowly walk to this vending machine, and boom. Some weird girl in a hood says hi to you. Also, she's a vampire with very sharp teeth, and well, the first thing you do is to run for your life. This is the story of Call of the Night. Well, it's not the whole story. It's obviously a lot more than that, besides the 40-year-old vampire that is friends with a 14-year-old kid. That doesn't set any red flags. Call of the Night is written and illustrated by Kotoyama, the same person who did Decafishere, and I gotta say, that candy anime is something. Call of the Night is one of a kind. Plain and simple. You can sit back and just watch this beautifully animated show switch to a city illuminated by green tinted lights to a purple night sky where vampires just fly and enjoy their time. This all serves as a backdrop for this young kid, Ko Yamori. Ko feels empty with his lousy, boring life as a 14-year-old middle schooler. He struggles like most kids, but he has something that a lot of us don't have, a romantic partner. I mean, insomnia. Insomnia, that's what the script says. The first time we see Ko is when he sneaks out of his parents' apartment for the first time in the dead of the night. He can't sleep, so the only thing he can do is just roam the streets. Ko doesn't seem to have the wild, rebellious nature like most characters have, and on the other hand, his face does carry hints of a troubled smile as he recounts the social awkwardness of school life. And let's be honest, can you really name a normal time in middle school, let alone high school? The boredom of that life can drive anyone insane. And well, this life is what eventually gave way to his insomnia. That boring, mundane life seems to disappear when he enters the night. He appears to have a found sense of relief and belonging. At the park, he swings on the swing set and explains how fun it feels for the first time in forever. In the midst of his sleeplessness, Ko begins to embrace the fullness of night. He somehow becomes happier, and that's so beautiful. If you told me this anime was about this boy enjoying life in an empty city illuminated by beautiful lights, I would happily watch it. But this is also a story that has a lot more than what we think. Although the vampire trope has been done to death, authors using a steak knife to kill the subgenre, Call of the Night does something slightly different. This story pairs a pleasure-seeking creature of the night with a human plagued by a sleeping disorder, often associated with deprivation and being dissatisfied. When Ko first meets the mysterious Nazuna, she catches him nervously trying to buy alcohol from a vending machine as a possible remedy for his insomnia. After toying with Ko, Nazuna recognizes that he has trouble sleeping and explains that most people who can't sleep struggle due to a lack of satisfaction with their day. She urges Ko to release his inhibition, setting the stage for the type of development the audience can expect to see from Ko, and suggesting that Nazuna will be the one who guides Ko in his pursuit of being satisfied. While Nazuna stalks the night as a vampire, Ko spends a lot of time at night simply because the poor boy doesn't know what else to do. A part of Ko really does want a genuine friendship, but only on his own terms. I've only known this character for only just one episode, and I'm rooting for this kid to become a happier person and have his dream come true. Someone that can find a solution to their problems. It's amazing that a 23-minute episode can make me think that way. Nazuna doesn't just offer an inspirational, human-centered solution to Ko's insomnia. After realizing that she's a vampire, Ko expresses his desire to become one as well. It's evident that Ko is not after power, but by becoming a vampire, Ko might escape the boredom of his mundane life and find true embrace in the depths of the night. He's a desperate young boy, but if you were in his shoes, would you be the same? However, as Nazuna explains, Ko will have to fall in love with her in order for Ko to become a vampire, adding yet another interesting facet to the anime's comparison of both insomnia and vampirism, which is a really odd comparison made in the story, but it simply just works so well, and it's hard to put in words what I mean. You see, in my opinion, vampires are by far one of the coolest monsters in fiction. We have Dio, Alucard from Hellsing, Alucard from Castlevania, and Carmilla, and the list goes on. And damn, I love Carmilla so much. Holy f***ing shit. She is so fine. Oh my god. I think I lost myself for a second. I think I should go back to the main video. Nazuna will for sure be on my list of favorite vampires. She offers something new that I've never seen before. Okay, don't be gross. That's not what I meant. I have an actual point to make. Nazuna may be wild and drink blood, but she seems to be a kind and helpful person. I know that she's a vampire, but I'll just still call her a person because f*** you. This type of character sets the stage for what authors and creators could do for their characters. That being changing small things of these basic tropes. Take those risks and make something new. No one would expect who Ko could fall for, whether it be a total monster or not. But one thing we can say is that he could fall for a friendly fiend like Nazuna. This small friendship also helps balance Nazuna's character and gives her a charming flaw as well as vulnerability. Vampires are often depicted as near perfect beings, but Nazuna would quickly grow stale if she had no flaws or weakness aside from sunlight. A major character like Nazuna needs room for growth, and her bashfulness about romance is definitely the key. She's comfortable with her powers and her roguish lifestyle, but if she's inexperienced with love, she can grow and change as a person as her relationship with Ko evolves. She lives in the night, but her heart is warm and bright. So true love is of course an option for this near perfect being, right? You see, the story takes place late into the night, long after everyone has gone to sleep. It's empty, but also calm, quiet, and peaceful. This is an urban environment, meaning all street lamps, skyscrapers, and more are creating all kinds of light, a common sight in any major city. New York City, Chicago, hell, even Cleveland. But in this world of vampires and humans, the night sky of purple, blue, pink, and green is the main source of light. The reason why I bring this up is because the color of the sky slowly changes while our characters become more open about who they are. You see, the sky isn't just a background that serves as this beautiful thing. In its own way, it's a silent character. I know this sounds really confusing, but I think I have a point to make. Nazuna as a vampire is a naturally nocturnal creature who thrives in the darkness, and the sun is simply a deadly inferno. This is not a comforting source of light and warmth. The starry sky is to Nazuna is what a spring sun is to ordinary people, meaning she can appreciate the beauty of the night sky in ways few people can. Except for Ko. These two people view the night as a comforting entity, while others fear the night. Thus, this visual metaphor adds a beautiful layer to the narrative. This might be an anime of vampires, loneliness, and a kid with insomnia, but it's not some edgy story. It's a fairly light-hearted one. It's about finding the beauty in small things, or even grand things. In any medium, the themes, core messages, and tone can also be conveyed not only through just dialogue, but with the setting itself, and we see that in Berserk, Vagabond, Vinland Saga, Hunter x Hunter, and many more. This is not a new thing that authors do. If a setting is treated like a silent character, the story can feel much richer, as all kinds of metaphors become possible. Having a rich story like this leads to so many interpretations of what these colors, characters, and music means. And if a story can do something like that, you know it's amazing. Over the course of the series, Ko and Nazuna meet up a few times, and already they have great chemistry as an odd pair who understand one another. Ko may not be a vampire, but he's also like Nazuna. He does value his alone time as a complete total introvert, and Nazuna tends to not get close to other people, except when she needs to suck their blood. Of course, because vampire things, am I right? While Nazuna is a playful, carefree vampire, her personality doesn't completely overwhelm Ko at all. Instead, they are just different enough to tease one another and feel like they have something to learn from another, including something so small like friendship. What this story presents to us is two very different people on the surface, but deep down are simply just individuals who love a certain thing. You can easily tell that Ko is an introvert. He's the happiest on his own in a quiet and peaceful environment. He gets overwhelmed if too many people are around him, and that's understandable, and it's a normal feeling to have. So on the flip side of being overwhelmed by people, there's a sense of relief when wandering the night with his insomnia. To him, it's the ideal situation. This is the best kind of loneliness he could ever ask for. But the bad kind, to him, is the one he experiences at school. He's so overwhelmed by how chaotic middle school life is, and the only way for him to be finally at peace, away from the obnoxious world of middle school, is to be on the empty streets. Also, I do want to say that introverts don't hate friendship at all. Instead, people just choose certain friends to be with. Some simply prefer quality over quantity, and that's totally okay. Ko has had enough of the bad times in his daytime life. Now he's filling the void with his meaningful friendship with this vampire. Nazuna is happy to return the favor since she doesn't seem to have many friends either. So despite her constant wandering and carefree lifestyle, this may make her happier as well. It's not weird to describe two introverts being lonely together as a good thing. It's a wholesome friendship, and the kind that the world's shyest people often crave. Underneath the beauty of Kotoyama's Call of the Night is a tale with a small lesson. You don't have to change yourself for anyone, and no one really has to change themselves just for you. There's always going to be someone, or a group of people, just for you that have similar interests like you. The world might be an unforgiving place, but you don't have to do it alone. The true beauty and magic of Call of the Night isn't the fact that there's this beautiful pink sky every episode. It's the fact that these are very real characters, like us. Despite being vampires, they're pretty human, and I don't think the story has done that for me in a long, long time.